Meditation and Spiritual Life, Swami Yatishwarananda. Example of saints. We must cultivate intense yearning for God, the unceasing, uncompromising quest for God that we find in the lives of saints and sages. Sri Chaitanya was a great scholar in his younger days, but at the prime of his youth, he underwent a sudden conversion and became an ardent lover of God. His love for God was so intense that he could not forget Him even for a second. His whole life was spent in spiritual inebriation. His ecstatic devotion finds its expression in a small poem he wrote, in which he says, "Ah, how I long for the day when, in chanting thy name, the tears will spill down from my eyes and my throat will refuse to utter its prayers, choking and stammering with ecstasy. When all the hairs of my body will stand erect with joy. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Govinda, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence. Though it tears my soul asunder, O thou who stealst the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone." Sri Chaitanya Shikshashtakam. Prahlada was an example of the saints praised in the Puranas. Even from childhood, he had intense devotion for Lord Vishnu. His demoniacal father tried all in his power to turn the boy to the worldly path, but the young boy braved all the cruel ordeals and went on with his ecstatic praising of the Lord. When the Lord appeared before the boy and asked him what he wanted, he said, "May I think of thee with that strong love which the ignorant cherish for the things of the world, and may that love never cease to abide in my heart. My Lord, should thousands of births fall to my lot, may I still always possess an unshakable and unflinching devotion to thee." In modern times, Sri Ramakrishna stands as an unparalleled example for intensity of yearning for God. His longing for the vision of God in all his aspects was so great that he didn't sleep for 6 years. He spent his time day and night in various spiritual moods, which were so intense that people thought he had become mad. His was indeed divine madness. In the book, The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, which contains his authentic teachings and conversations, we find the idea of yearning for God stressed very much. Indeed, we may say that it was the chief discipline that Sri Ramakrishna prescribed for all aspirants. The following passage is a typical example. The Master, to Bankim and others: "One must have for God the yearning of a child. The child sees nothing but confusion when his mother is away. You may try to cajole him by putting a sweet meat in his hand, but he will not be fooled. He only says, 'No, I want to go to my mother.' One must feel such yearning for God. Ah, what yearning! How restless a child feels for his mother! Nothing can make him forget his mother. He to whom the enjoyment of worldly happiness appears tasteless, he who takes no delight in anything of the world, money, name, creature comfort, sense pleasure, becomes sincerely grief stricken for the vision of the mother, and to whom alone and to him alone the mother comes running leaving all her other duties. Ah, that restlessness is the whole thing. Whatever path you follow, whether you are a Hindu, a Muslim, a Christian, a Shakta, Vaishnava, or a Brahmo, the vital point is restlessness. God is our inner guide. It doesn't matter if you take a wrong path, only you must be restless for Him. He Himself will put you on the right path. Besides, there are errors in all paths. Everyone thinks his watch is right, but as a matter of fact, no watch is absolutely right. But that doesn't hamper one's work. If a man is restless for God, he gains the company of sadhus and, as far as possible, corrects his own watch with the sadhu's help. Bankim to the master, Sir, how can one develop divine love? Master, through restlessness. The restlessness a child feels for his mother. The child feels bewildered when he is separated from his mother and weeps longingly for her. If a man can weep like that for God, he can even see Him. At the approach of dawn, the eastern horizon becomes red. Then one knows it will soon be sunrise. Likewise, if you see a person restless for God, you can be pretty certain that he hasn't long to wait for his vision. All the intimate disciples of Sri Ramakrishna had this burning passion for God. Balaram was one among them. His first meeting with Sri Ramakrishna is very revealing. The day following his arrival in Calcutta, he started for Dakshineshwar. There was a great crowd in the temple garden owing to the presence of Keshav Chandra Sen and his Brahmo followers. Balaram sat in a corner of the master's room, and when the party went to eat, Sri Ramakrishna called to him and inquired if he had anything to ask. Sir, said Balaram, does God really exist? Certainly, replied the master. Can anybody realize him? Yes, said the master. He reveals himself to the devotee who thinks of him as his nearest and dearest. Because you do not get any response by praying to him once. You must not conclude that he does not exist. But again interrogated Balram, why can't I see him when I pray to him so much? Sri Ramakrishna asked with a smile, do you really consider him as dear to your heart as your own children? No, sir, said Balaram after a moment's pause. I never felt for him so strongly. The master said in an animated voice, pray to God, thinking him as dearer than your own self. Verily, I tell you, he is most attached to his devotees. He cannot but reveal himself to them. He comes to man before he is sought. There is none more intimate and affectionate than God. Balram got new light from these words. Every word of what he says, he thought within himself, is true. Nobody ever spoke to me so forcibly of God. Begin early in life. There are a good many people who think that they can leave religion to their old age after enjoying all the fruits of life. But their time may never come because after dissipating the greater part of their energy in physical enjoyment, there will not be much of it left for strenuous spiritual practice. Many people start spiritual life too late to get any great benefit from it. Many people realize too late that their life had been in vain. But they are better than the old fool who still runs after physical enjoyment even in old age. vainly imagining that he is a romantic young man. In the West, you meet so many of these miserable people. One has to begin as early as possible with one's spiritual life. Unless we have sown the seed of spirituality in our soul early in life, there is no possibility of creating the spiritual attitude in later life. Sri Ramakrishna one day warned his beloved young disciple Narendra about associating himself with Girish, the famous actor dramatist of Bengal. Master, do you visit Girish frequently? No matter how much one washes a cup that has contained a solution of garlic, still a trace of the smell will certainly linger. The youngsters who come here are pure souls, untouched by women and gold. Men have associated a long Men who have associated a long time with women and gold smell of the garlic, as it were. They are like a mango pecked by crows. Such a fruit cannot be offered to the deity in the temple, and you would hesitate to eat it yourself. Again, take the case of a new pot and another in which curd has been made. One is afraid to keep milk in the second pot, for the milk very often turns sour. Girish later on heard about this talk and asked Sri Ramakrishna whether the smell of garlic would go. The master replied that the smell would go if the cup was heated in a blazing fire. Once a person has become a slave of his instincts, he finds it too difficult to free himself from their clutches. Old age is too short to achieve this freedom from instincts. If your ideal is freedom from bondage and sorrow by the attainment of superconscious experience, you had better start now. And suppose one dies before attaining one's goal? Remember the passage in Gita, even a little of this discipline saves one from the great fear. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat, Gita 2.40. Those who have seriously struggled in spiritual life, those who have surrendered their all to the divine, need not have any fear. There are other planes of existence where they can continue their spiritual quest if they have lived an intensely spiritual life while alive. Then one would follow the same course where one left off. Death brings about only a change of environment, but the focus of our consciousness, the divine, is always with us. Wherever we are, the infinite is always with us. When we get this idea, we lose all fear of death. We should court neither life nor death. Let destiny run its course, but let us fix our heart for ever on the divine. Let us march on fearlessly, resolutely towards the goal. Until you fall asleep, until you die, always busy yourself with Vedantic thoughts. Asuptehe amritehe kalam nayedvedanta chintaya.